Guys, so today I'm joined with Evie.
Hey guys.
And we're going to be doing a little Q&A uni chat, basically answering all of your questions about whether we're going to uni, how we find college.
Basically because we know that the transition between college and uni is difficult because people suddenly expect you to know exactly what you want to do, exactly where you want to go, and everyone says, oh my god, you need to go to university or you can't get a job, and there are so many other options. You want to the transition, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so this video is actually sponsored by Unite Students super kindly. So if you don't know what they are or who they are, they're an accommodation provider for you guys who want to go to uni. So they have accommodation over loads of different cities. So they have long-term accommodation as well as accommodation for like a few nights or stuff like that. So it's super, super useful. If you guys do want to check them out through the link in the description box, you can. They're not just about like accommodation. They're a super non-biased website that has loads of information about going to uni and the right place. So they also have a feature called the Common Room on the Unite Students website, which allows students to actually upload their own articles. So they have loads of sections so they can help you save money whilst being at uni. They've got some really nice, yummy looking recipes. Honestly, there was this pancake recipe and I was like, they also have articles on homesickness and how to deal with that, and just loads of like support.
So the link for the website and the YouTube channel will be down below. Check it out.
So I actually asked you guys for the questions for this video, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we answer the questions that you guys want to hear. So the first thing I got loads of questions about was college and how we're enjoying college and the load of A-level work. Obviously me and Evie are taking slightly different A-levels, and we were talking about it earlier how Evie has more coursework and I had more exams this year.
Yeah, so basically the subjects that I do a BTEC media film course, which counts for 2 A-levels technically. You could say it's easier because it's more coursework based, but it's a lot more stress in the sense of more work to do and more practical.
It's more like
films and stuff that you're making.
Yeah, it's more I feel like you can never really compare like practical and like written work as in the workload, because people deal with it differently, and personally I find coursework less stressful because I hate the fact that after 2 years I'm gonna have like this exam that decides what I get, whereas some people find it opposite and work really well in exams.
However, in photography, which I also do and so do you, you are building up a portfolio, and there is no need to stress too much about grades because a lot of universities do take into consideration your portfolio more than your actual grade.
This is the thing that my teacher said to me actually in a lesson. He said, say like a uni grade that you need to get is like a BBB and you get say like C's or something like that. Unis will always take you into consideration. Like some photography unis, even if you don't get the required grades, if they look at their portfolio or they love you and they think your work is like a perfect fit for uni, then they can offer you an offer anyway. So it's not strictly by the, you know, the grade boundaries, if that makes sense. Obviously your grades do matter. I'm not saying like don't work hard. I'm just saying with something like photography, I'd like obviously history and like maths and stuff you have to revise, but photography is more about the work you're producing. And the same with media. I got loads and loads of questions about whether you think it's worth doing an apprenticeship or going to uni, and like from people I know that are kind of in the media industry, they say the best thing you can do is make connections with people, do something like an apprenticeship, become a runner, start from the bottom and then work up from there, because with something like media it's definitely the people you know.
So I also took Spanish and Liv takes sociology, so we do other subjects apart from arty ones. Arty. We did take other subjects as well which are not coursework.
Anyway, it's getting all really confusing, but basically the bottom line is I feel like my biggest tip for you guys at college is just to make sure that you continue recapping and revising as often as you can. I know it sounds silly, but if you have an exam at the end of 2 years, like it really depends on you actually solidifying your knowledge and knowing, because otherwise you're going to get to the end of 2 years and be like, right, so I've got to relearn 2 whole years of stuff.
What I did for Spanish is I actually did my revision every week, so I would stay on top of it because I knew that I would get to the end, because I only had a year until my exam, that I knew I'd get to the end and be like, oh my god, I can't remember what I did for this. So I had a folder with it all organised and everything, so I think what you just said is really true.
So I also got loads of questions on a gap year, whether we're taking one. I thought this would be a fun little question to answer. So both Evie and I are actually taking gap years.
I thought you had to high five me.
No,
we're both taking gap years. Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Anyway, me and Liv are planning on doing a gap year, but I actually applied to university and deferred my year, which if you don't know what that means, I applied to a couple universities. Well, there were only really 2 that I really liked, and I didn't, because basically if I didn't get into those I wouldn't want to go to university, if that makes sense. So that makes sense?
Yeah, no, that does.
So I applied and deferred, so that means I'm going to be applying for 2020, so I'm not going to be going the next September, but I'll be going the year after, but I might not be going, if that makes sense. So I'll get to decide in 2 years.
Yeah, so basically if any of you guys are like me and like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to go to uni, I have no idea what I want to do, you can choose to, like, as Evie said, like apply and defer, but also there's literally nothing stopping you. There's no age limit to uni, so if I wanted to go in 5 years I could apply and go, but it's just obviously if you apply and defer, it saves that stress of applying later on because you have a bit of support with college and stuff.
Yeah, that's the only reason I did that.
Yeah, but I just feel like at the moment for me, I haven't applied to any universities because at that point in my life I was just having a bit of like a low struggling moment. I was just, honestly, I could not think about what the heck I wanted to do in my future, let alone what I wanted to eat for breakfast. This is something I want you guys to learn from. I just put it to the side of my head and I was like, I don't even want to go. But luckily I don't actually really want to go, so I decided not to apply, and if I decide there's like a course I want to do by applying for the next 2020, yeah, that's what I mean.
You can always apply next September.
Exactly. So if I kind of decide suddenly, oh my gosh, I really want to do photography, but to me personally there wasn't one course that really resonated with me and made me feel like I really want to go to uni. I kind of felt like I really love doing YouTube and my social media, and I do want that to branch out, so I thought, you know what, if I take a year out to push that as much as possible, we'll see where that goes and I'll see where life takes me, and if I want to go to further education I can. Did you feel like pressure to go to uni or apply?
Well, the thing with me is my mum was telling me to go to university, my dad was telling me not to. That's only because my mum isn't involved in my YouTube at all, so she doesn't really understand that it's a stability.
Yeah.
But my dad does because he's more involved with it. So I think it just shows the difference in sort of people's perspectives on this type of industry, because it is growing so much at the moment. But I think people that aren't as familiar with it and only see it from the perspective of like news outlets and what they're saying about it, think that it's not good. So your teachers will probably be like, that's not
literally my teacher, okay, story time, my teacher in my careers guidance lesson, basically I had to explain that what I wanted to do in the future was this with social media, and obviously she's been a teacher for a while, social media's not been around for a while, she's not been trained into the social media industry, so she was saying, don't really understand it, I don't really know what she was saying, it was just a bit awkward. Anyway, she asked me to type in how much money I earn into the computer. She was like, type how much money you earn per month on the computer, and I was like, excuse me. I was so embarrassed. I've never been so embarrassed in my life, but I feel like that kind of represents how people view like social media as a job, because she was telling me, you know, I don't think it's stable, and she was saying, so how much money do you earn for it to be stable? And I was thinking,
I think unless you're sort of involved with the media industry in some way, it's sort of hard to grasp what is actually happening.
Exactly. And I feel like I understand as a like guidance teacher, she's probably thinking this is just not a stable job at all, and I understand.
Again, not like, I think that's really bad to then tell a student that that's not going to work out. That's something they're passionate about.
The thing is a lot of the jobs that we'll be doing when we're like 50 will not exist now, and that happens a lot. You know, the world is changing so much, and so are jobs, and I understand they want us to have something stable, but if I'm very aware that I'm not going to be a 50-year-old YouTuber. That's not my intention. I know it's not going to last forever, and that's not what I said to her. Do you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people are saying, well, it's going to die out, and it's like, why not have fun?
I think you should just give whatever you're passionate about a go. If it is, you have the opportunity to make it a career, I think you should go for that. But then people will say, like, because there's a stigma around like being a photographer, like, oh, the pay isn't regular for that, but it's like, if you enjoy it, you'd want to do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think you shouldn't shut off someone's like dream job just because of the pay or like how stable it is.
So like with a dream job or something, if you guys need a uni degree, go get that uni degree and get your dream job, and if not, you need to like research and just learn how you can get that and how you can make it possible. I think anything is possible if you really put in the hard work and the time and the research. I think it's possible. But going back to uni and not our dream jobs, do you like, how did you find the information on the unis you went to? Because obviously I looked a little bit, but I just kind of put my head in the sand and thought, nope, don't want to hear it. So I'm intrigued to see like where you got your information from.
Me, I researched about the uni that I wanted to visit before I visited it, just so I sort of knew, because I didn't want to go all the way to the uni and then it'd be a waste of my time. I think it can actually be very expensive to travel to like open days and stuff, especially if they're on the other side,
quite far away,
England. Do you know what I mean? And some people can't afford that, so I think you can get a lot of the same information online than going there and getting a prospectus. But you also, it is really good to actually go to the area, and if you do have the chance to, it's really good because it's about the feel.
That's
like how you actually like that, because you're going to be living there for like 3 or maybe even 5 years if you're doing like a nursing degree, so it is
that's what a a lot of people have said to me is like, if you don't like the vibe of the place, it's going to be your home for the next few years, so you have to actually make sure you like that actual area as well.
But to do like course information and stuff, you can ask around and find the similar information online, I think.
With my college they had loads of help with like personal statement lessons. They did have quite a bit of guidance with how to actually apply for uni and like UCAS and how it works, so ask around, look online, but don't rely just on online. Ask teachers because they kind of know what they're doing. Me and Evie are obviously taking the next year off. Finally, we actually need to actually look at some holidays tonight. We're probably gonna fall asleep though because I'm really tired.
I'm hungry.
But we're gonna have a look at some places. Basically, our plan is take a year out, see where life takes us, work hard, play hard, and hopefully have a great time. We're gonna do some traveling. We really want to just make loads and loads of friends with like loads of different people, because obviously in college I feel like I love all of my friends in college, obviously, but it's one of those things you're forced to be friendly with everyone and they might not necessarily all have the same interests.
So we've been like away, like on holidays that aren't in our gap years, and we've made friends that we're like so close with, and that we've come together, like, because we were sort of friends with a big group on holiday, and then we sort of like, you know, this
you like whittled down the people.
Like, you're supposed to be together, so that's sort of
hopefully we'll make friends and obviously work on our YouTube. I mean, the thing is, people don't realise YouTube and social media is a full-time job, so finally we'll be able to put our sole attention on it and hopefully
just travel, have fun in our gap years,
live our lives, you know. Thing is, it's something like a gap year, a lot of people say you only have one chance really to have a whole year of freedom and to travel, so I really hope you guys did enjoy this video with Evie. Let me know if you want more. Sorry we're a little bit more quiet, I just feel like we want to be relaxed, have a informed chat about uni and what the heck we want to do.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, and we're quite hungry.
Also, I did a video where I actually vlogged going to an open day, so if that might be able to answer your questions, if you're interested about like going to open days and stuff,
be linked down below, as well as Unite Students' YouTube channel and their website. I genuinely cannot recommend it enough. I recommend it to all my friends because it's just the perfect non-biased place for loads of different information, make friends, everything good in the world, honestly. So just check it out, you may as well.
If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. Right?
I just went on post notification. We're gonna go eat our dinner, we're gonna have a good time.
It's been waiting in the oven for a while.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you for watching.